All right, everyone, country here this morning. I know I hadn't done a video in a while. It's been a few weeks. Haven't done anything, so reason for that is I've been working, cleaning on my place and burning big burn piles and doing all kind of work. I ain't had the time really to do any videos and hadn't really been going anywhere. I hadn't felt like it. My little dog Jippy, she died, so I just don't feel like going to the woods right now and doing things. Just need to do stuff at home, so what I'm gonna do today is I'm still gonna make some more catfish cans, and this time I'm using some freon bottles instead of the propane bottles like you see on the last one. So I'm gonna show you how I make these up. They're a little bit lighter because they're a little bit smaller and they're thinner metal, and they're a little bit easier to handle when you're pulling them up with fish in them and water in them and all. A little bit better. So you know, y'all just stick around. I'm gonna show you how I do these, and maybe y'all learn something from these. All right, what I got here is, you see, this is your old freon bottles. Do this the same way I done the others. Drill holes in the bottom, drill holes all in them. Now, cut a little hole up here at the top. Got a little hole at the top for them to get in, and leave the handles on it, and that's where you tie your line. I opened these valves up and made sure they're empty, but they still may be a little something in them, but they're not under pressure right now. So even there's like a little thing in some of these. It's like on your tire when you're that kind of got a little valve core in some of this. Looks like all of these bottles too. The valve is welded on these, so I won't be able to take them out. I'll just cut it off with the grinder. So that's what I got. That's where I'm at. Let me get all set up here and see if I can drill a few holes, and I'll show you then what all I'm talking about. Now, you got to kind of go slow. Take your old drill and go slow a little bit at first, and just kind of make you just a little tiny hole, just in case there is something in it, to make sure it don't blow out at one time. So I got that started, so I'll go ahead and drill it now. Okay, what I did was I drilled holes all in the bottom and around the sides, and I think I put a lot more holes in these than I did in the propane bottles, but it's all right. And I drawed something out there, kind of like how I want to cut it. It's about how I want to do it. I don't know, it's not going to turn out exactly like I drawed it or anything, but just kind of giving me some idea of where I want to drill a hole. And I'm going to cut into this thing and find out, see if that's going to work. I think that's what I want to do. If you cut too big a hole, you can always come back and put some of the pieces that you've cut off. You can kind of weld it on there and tack weld it and make it a smaller hole. It's easy enough, so I'm gonna try to make this one maybe a little smaller hole than this was in the others. But your big breeding catfish, you know, your big one is gonna be the one that gets in there and sits on a bed. And them little tiny ones, they're not mature enough. They're not laying eggs, so it's going to be for the larger catfish anyway. So get too small, they may not be able to get in there. If you get too big with a hole, you may dump them out whenever you start pulling your cans in. So you just have to figure out the hole size sometimes. So let me cut this thing and figure that out. See what I can do on that. Alright, what I did was I took my hammer and I beat down them handles on there a little bit where I could get in there with a grinder, and I just took the hand grinder with the cutting wheels and cut that valve off, and got my finger too. And then there's the hole I cut. I'm gonna try that hole, see how that works. But when I'm done, I'll change to a grinding wheel on my grinder, and I'll come back and I'll clean all these rough edges up where I don't have anything that'll snag a line or anything. That's pretty much one of them cut and ready. Now I'm going to see if I can do the others. See what I can do to them. Just takes a little time to do this, but it all turns out good. Alright, well, I have my little angle grinder going. I beat all them handles down, cut the valves off, cut the holes in all of them. Kind of do this like an assembly line. Then I come back later and clean it up. Now next, I'll be drilling all the holes. So it don't really take long to do this. You know, it's pretty easy to do. And I had some of these that I've been using and was catching catfish with, you know, for 20 years. And they got a bad habit around here. If there's something in the lake they don't like, they'll just go drain the lake down thinking that's going to fix it. But, you know, and I end up losing them. I couldn't find them. They got silted over or something. I even went out in the lake walking around looking for them, but couldn't find them. So that's the way it goes. Sometimes you lose them, but if you keep up with it, you can always come back and find them. And you tie your line off somewhere on a good tree or stump or something you know is not going to break over, fall over, or too rotten, you know. Tie it to something good, you can always come back and find them. And what you got to remember, when you put these out too, you got to leave them out for a week or two. You know, at first, give the catfish time to find it, start going in there and bedding and everything, and then you come back after that. And after that, you can come back, you know, run it every other day or once a week, whatever it is that you want to do, whenever it is you can get to it. This is kind of a thing that a working man, he can go put them out, and he can come every weekend and check them, and not have to do a whole lot of work to go catch some catfish in. So it ain't gonna hurt nothing to leave them out. The longer you leave them out, the more fish finds it, and the more of them tries to get in there and bed. Because, like I said in my other video, I have taken these little bottles before, and you pick them up, and there'd be 2 big old catfish in there, or 3 of them in there even. And I don't even know how they got in there, how they could fit, but they do. You got to shake them out sometimes pretty good to get them out because they get hung up in there. But it works. This is something, you know, and this is something you got to making these, you know, something you just got to think about. You know, let the pressure off on these bottles, and you just think about it and do it. You know, don't be bothered, don't be aggravated by people or whatever. You know, just take your time, do it right, and you can do it safely. You know, I run into so many people, boy, I say, well, that's too small, it's too small. Well, no, it's not too small. You'll catch a lot of big fish in these. You know, just, there are a lot of people out there, just, they don't know anything because they don't get out and do it. But then they're going to try to tell you that they're the expert at and try to make you believe that. And they never had a job that they really had to work yet. And never had a job they had to think yet. They never went to school or anything, so, you know, that same kind of people we got running our country right now don't know nothing. Think they know everything, so. But yeah, you take your time with this, and you can do it safe. So, let me get all fixed up here. I'm going to drill these holes in, and I'll be back to show you all that. All right, well, I got my little projects going. Also have customers call me about my little barrel business, and I got to make some on the burn barrel here. So, I'll show you a little bit how I do that. Just take this metal barrel, and I take my little grinder there with the cutting wheel, and I just run around the top of it. Then, and I drill some holes in the bottom. So, let me cut this all off here and show you that, and I'll show you the rest of it then. Alright, I got that cut off. And the barrel, I'll dump that out, and I'll lay it down. I'll drill some holes around the bottom. So I'm going to do that now. Well, nothing to show really. A customer come up while I was drilling the holes, but just drilled holes around the bottom. Customer leaving now, but anyway, that's all it is to the barrel. You know, there's the tops I cut off of them. One off of that one's over here. And that's it I poured out. That's just basically it's kind of a plastic. It's a foam. I'll pour a lot of that out here in my driveway just to help fill in my driveway, fill in the holes in my driveway. It looks like peanut brittle. Makes driveway filling. It'll all dry solid. But now, it's time to get back over here and do this. But first, I got to go take my drill back. My drill quit running on me. Won't work right. So, I go take the drill back, get me another drill, come back, and then I gotta finish them two. Then I'll show you how I tie all these up, how I do them. Still a little bit left to do. Okay, got another drill. Now let me finish drilling these and let's see what happens now. Alright, I just got all the holes drilled in them. Everything got holes drilled in it. And I take my little grinder now and you see I'm cleaning up the holes I drilled and the holes I cut in the top and all. And got the last one here to do. Just kind of taking a break. So just about got these knocked out. It don't take long to do this, you know. It takes too long, it's too much trouble or whatever, and it really don't. You see, I got 5 here. I'll put 5 on one line. To me, I found that, that's about what you want, It's kind of your limit there. That 120 tard line that I use, I double it, but the strength on it is like 1,100 pounds, and none of that's going to be no 1,100 pounds when it's full of water. When you're dragging them, it's just not going to be that heavy, so it'll work fine. So I'm about done with all this, and then the next thing will be to clean them up. I'm going to clean them up a little bit. I put a little soap and water on them. I got oil all over them and everything, and then I'm going to paint them then. I don't like to leave them that color. I like to paint them black. It just seems like black works better. And then I got a little theory that I'm going to try on some of them gloss black, some of them flat black, and I'm going to see if that kind of makes a difference. The gloss black, it'll kind of glisten maybe a little down in the water. The flat black will just be black, just be dark, like a dark hole. So I don't know which one may work better, but I'm going to try some different kinds of paint. Just a theory I want to try and see how it works. So let's see how that works too. But I got to finish cleaning that one up. I'm going to start washing them and cleaning them up and everything. And I'll show you a little bit of that. I got them all cleaned up and I'm going to paint them. I wanted to let the water dry off them a little bit. I got sidetracked. I had to wash the truck, so I washed the truck. Now I got enough water in the driveway to float a boat. So let me see here. Let me paint these things up real quick. And then you'll get to see some more. Alright, got these all painted up now. Looking pretty good here. And I'm going to get set up here. I've been thinking about how I'm going to tie my leader on there. Because I'm going to do these like I do a trout line. And I'll have a leader tied on the handle, and that leader will be tied to a long line that'll be stretched out, dropped in the water. So kind of do it the same way, trout line. So you get set up here to do that, and I'm going to show you what I do then. Alright, now I have to get all my stuff ready here. It's a 120 tard line. But what I didn't like is down in here, where that line's probably going to end up at anyway. I don't like that sharp edge, so what I'm going to do is just take some of my duct tape here. it in there and pat it up a little bit. I don't know how long that's gonna last underwater, but it'll probably last as long as I leave these out anyway. I don't think I'm gonna leave out my lines all year long like I used to. I'm gonna start taking them back in and run them for a while and take them back in. And like these though, I mean a trout line, yeah, you need to do that. These it wouldn't matter because you're gonna have fish bedding in them, and that's good, you know. If you don't catch them, they're just gonna keep bedding there and keep raising more babies. So there's that. I should pad that up pretty good. I'll take this 120 tard line. I'm gonna peel off. Let's see, one time across my chest. No. I need to do 2 times across my chest. I'm gonna do it like this. I had to cut the camera back on. It went off on me. Let me see here. One time across my chest. And 2 times across my chest. I think that's gonna be good. Right down here like this. I tie a knot. That's another good thing about this tard line. You can tie a knot in it and it stays. And I'm just gonna loop it around. And I'll put a half hitch and another half hitch. That's how I do my leader. I think I'm gonna just tie a knot in the middle of that. Tie a knot in the middle of it like that, and that'll be tied to a line, and they'll be just scattered out everywhere down in the water. So that's about it. That's about how I do these. So y'all remember, y'all know the deal. Like, share, subscribe. That's about all I got this time. So I'll see y'all next time.